Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our live virtual design update meeting. I'm Kenya Williams, thrilled to be here representing Houston Public Works. Today isn't just any meeting. It's an opportunity for us to connect, inform, and empower you regarding the exciting design developments for the Northside High School Area Improvements Project. Get ready to dive into what lies ahead and emerge with all the insights you need to navigate this journey with confidence. Let's make this session informative as possible. Before we kick off, I'd like to kindly request that you hold onto your burning questions until the end of our presentation. Trust me, you're in for a treat because most, if not all, of the answers you're eager to uncover will be unveiled during our time together. So let's dive in with undivided attention right now. We'll have plenty of room for a lively questions and answer session at the conclusion of our presentation. So let's begin. I'm delighted to introduce the hardest working council member, Mario Castillo from District H, who will share a few remarks about this exciting design project. Councilmember Castillo? I don't see, I see Russell with District H. Russell, do you know if
He
Councilmember?
he seems that he is on. Let me give me just one hot second.
Okay, thank you.
Kenya, if you want, so as to not hold things up, but he might be having some technical difficulties. So just
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get back, if he ever comes on, we can go back to him. So let's move on. Here at Houston Public Works, we believe that together we create a strong foundation for Houston to thrive. There are 5 service lines at Houston Public Works. Today's meeting is presented by Capital Projects. We deliver large-scale reconstruction and new construction projects of Houston Public Works' existing roadway, drainage, water, and wastewater facilities. We are committed to managing and delivering these critical projects that are maintained and operated by Transportation and Drainage Operations and Houston Water. To learn more about each service line, please visit engagehouston.org. All right, folks, buckle up because we're about to dive headfirst into the design of this project and who to contact in case you have questions or feedback to share. It's time to equip yourselves with the knowledge and tools to navigate this project like pros. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Get ready to meet the masterminds behind the scenes. I have the honor of welcoming the Assistant Director for Capital Projects, Tanu Hiremith, who's here to unveil the incredible team responsible for the design of this project. Prepare to be introduced to the brilliant minds, the passionate hearts, and the dedicated souls who journey through innovation and excellence. Let's welcome Tanu as she introduces the dream team to you.
Thank you, Kenya. Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for taking the time to attend this presentation. This is very informative, and actually it is very useful for us to get input from you through these presentations. With that, I want to introduce our hardworking project team. Ismat Ara is a project manager, and Prakash Lutel is a managing engineer overseeing this project. We also have our consulting engineers, PGAL, and Costas and Jerry from PGAL are with us today. With that, I'll turn it back to you, Kenya. Thank you.
Thanks, Tanu. Houston Public Works is committed to building forward and building better. This drainage project provides for the construction of storm drainage improvements, concrete paving, curbs, sidewalks, driveways, new water lines, stormwater drainage, and wastewater lines. This $41 million drainage project is scheduled to begin in fall of 2025 and anticipated to be completed in fall of 2028. Once the design is final, a contractor will be selected and Houston Public Works will host a how to prepare for construction meeting prior to construction start. So stay tuned. And now what you've all been waiting for. Costas, the engineer of record for this project, he will now share the design updates with you. Costas?
Yes, thank you very much, Kenya. As Kenya indicated, this is primarily a storm drainage project. As such, we are providing a very robust drainage system. We are reconstructing the streets with the concrete streets. All of them are going to be concrete streets with new curbs, new sidewalks, primarily on both sides of the street, reconstructing all the driveways. And we are rebuilding a good portion of the water lines through the project and also rebuilding some of the wastewater lines. Some of the streets, as you are probably familiar with your neighborhood, some of the streets have pretty narrow right-of-way. A lot of them have 50 feet or 60 feet right-of-way, and they consist of they are typically either open ditch, or some of them we are with curb and gutter. You can see the names of a lot of them that are fall in this category with the open ditches, and all those streets, the existing pavement is narrow, varies from 16 to 23 feet. And they're going to be replaced with concrete streets, 26 feet wide, with 5-foot sidewalks on either side. Some of the two of the more major streets through the neighborhood, Morris Streets adjacent to the high school and McNeil Street on the north end of the neighborhood, they have 60 feet of right-of-way. They are curb and gutter, and the existing width is 35 to 38 feet. And they're going to be replaced with 34 feet wide face-to-face with 5-foot sidewalks on either side. One of the unique streets in the neighborhood is Hammock. It is very, very narrow in right-of-way. It's only 28 feet in right-of-way. And right now, it has a 15-foot curb and gutter pavement that operates as a two-way street in that narrow pavement. The project is going to replace the street as a narrower street, 11 feet with a 5-foot sidewalk, but is going to be converted into one-way street entering from Fulton, and we are building a new connection to Luzon. So you are going to have a one-way operation through this street. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the streets are curb and gutter, Reynolds, Common Park, and Common Street. Right now, they're curb and gutter or narrow, 16 to 22 feet wide, and they are going to be replaced with a new curb and gutter concrete street with 5-foot sidewalks, 22 feet in width. And the three streets that we want to point particular attention to is Luzon Street, the portion on the west side of Harty, Ryan Street, and McKee Street. And those streets, they have 60 feet of right-of-way, and right now the existing street is very wide. It's 35 to 39.5 feet in width. And we have two options to present. One is to rebuild the street is 26-foot wide street, which is the city standard, with 5-foot sidewalks, or to rebuild it as a 32-feet wide street with 5-foot sidewalks on either side. So Ian is going to explain more the 2 options and about these 3 streets.
Thank you, Costas. Okay, so attention to those who reside on Ryan, Luzon, and McKee Streets. Again, calling all who live on Ryan, Luzon, and McKee Streets. We need your feedback. Ian Lavacek is our managing engineer, and he will discuss the poll options for Ryan, Luzon, and McKee Streets. Ian?
Thank you, Kenya. This is Ian Lavacek. Kenya, I just lost the screen. I can make do. It might be on my side,
Oh,
but I want to make
okay.
sure everybody else can see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, so everyone is looking at option A right now. If you want to talk to that slide.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk out that what Costa had introduced on Ryan Street, Luzon, and McKee. These are a couple of short sections. They're primarily residential, but we wanted to give the people who live and work and have the stakeholders around here a say in this because the streets look one way right now. However, if we were to build these streets from the ground up, brand new, they would not look like they do now. But we wanted to give y'all an opportunity to have a say in that because a lot of the streets in this neighborhood will be built back to that city standard. For them, they will be wider than they are now, but for these to build into the city standard at 26 feet, they'd actually be quite a bit narrower. The proposal A, which is on the screen for Ryan, Luzon, and McKee, this is the city standard width of 26 feet wide, and this is in all new local streets are typically built this way. This would be substantially narrower than the streets are right now. However, it still would allow for on-street parking. It would also allow more space for yard space. It would return some of the street back to, it remains public right of way, but it would effectively serve as additional yard space. And it would help us to move the sidewalks further away from the homes. So if you can go to option B.
Yes.
Let me know you're there.
Yes.
Okay, option B, same streets, we would be going a little bit narrower than they are now. As Costas was saying, they range between 35 and 39 feet. We'd be narrowing just a little bit down to 32, which would effectively operate the same way they do now, but it would give us a little room for the sidewalks. However, this would, in some cases, put the sidewalk right up next to the houses, as you can see here in this demonstration. This would the kinds of pros and cons for this is you would have less yard space. The sidewalks, you would have less chances for street trees and etc. Where the sidewalk would be back of curb. However, you would have more space for on-street parking. And if you, but theoretically, both A and B have the same amount of on-street parking, but this is just a little bit more space. So if we don't get any feedback, we'll probably move forward with option A, but this is one where we really want to leave it to the stakeholders to help us make that decision. We did do a mail out to the people who live along here. You should have received that in the mail by now with a barcode to go to a website to make your opinion known on this. If you live along these streets and you haven't received that, please let us know and we can connect you with the website. Thank you, Kenya.
Thanks, Ian. Remember to visit the project page on engagehouston.org under Drainage Projects. Hey, guess what? We've got a treasure trove of goodies waiting for you on the project page. Think of it as your one-stop shop for all things project related right at your fingertips. It's like having a backstage pass to all of the action. And don't forget to subscribe to receive the juicy project updates as they become available. All right, folks, it's time for a quick crash course on mastering engagehouston.org. Think of it as your digital compass for navigating through all the exciting updates and resources related to your project. From finding important documents to staying in the loop with the latest announcements, we've got you covered. So buckle up and get ready for a smooth ride as we take you on a guided tour of this awesome platform.
Welcome everyone to the vibrant world of EngageHouston.org. I'm Ryan, your guide from the Capital Project's public engagement team, and today we're going to learn how to navigate the website. So let's dive in. First, let's unlock the tool of language diversity. Glide your cursor up to the globe in the upper right-hand corner of the page. With the click of a mouse, you have access to multiple languages, ensuring that every visitor feels right at home. Moving along, we arrive at the Attend Virtual Meeting button. Simply click and you're whisked away to our calendar page to see the current events. Just click on the project page link to see what is happening in your neck of the woods. As we journey deeper into the project page for Arlington Heights Subproject 1, a tapestry of information awaits. The project number, location, council district, budget, and more. You can also delve into the project through a detailed description. Should you wish to follow this project's journey, a simple act of subscription is all it takes. Enter your email to receive regular updates to your inbox. Navigate through a labyrinth of impacted streets if you should dare. Join us at the live meeting for a first-hand glimpse into the project details. For deeper knowledge, an assortment of digital documents awaits. From PowerPoint presentations to traffic control plans, immerse yourself in the project's every facet. Visit the FAQ section for project team contact information. Questions, anyone? Our Engage Us tab is here for you to ask any questions you may have. Moving along to the tabs at the top of the page. Home, Projects, In My Neighborhood, Active Projects, Completed Projects, Resources, and About Us all await your exploration. And for the explorers looking for specific answers, a keyword search bar is at your disposal. And with this, my fellow constituents and stakeholders, you are now ready to explore the vast expanse of EngageHouston.org. We look forward to hearing from you. Until next time.
Again, calling all who reside on Ryan Street, Luzon Street, and McKee Street. Don't forget to vote A or B by September 5th. Just scan the QR code on the back of this mailer and it will take you straight to the poll. So vote today. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to express our gratitude to some incredible individuals and teams who've made today possible. Huge thanks to District H and Councilmember Castillo for their unwavering support. A round of virtual applause for Tanu Hiremith and her phenomenal project team. They've been absolute rock stars throughout this journey. Let's also give a big shout out to our fantastic public engagement team for pulling off this seamless meeting. And last but certainly not least, to each and every one of you who've joined us today. Thank you for lending us your time and attention. Your virtual presence here is invaluable. Now, here's a little request from us. Spread the word. Share what you've learned today with your friends and neighbors. And hey, if any questions pop up along the way, remember, EngageHouston.org is just a click away. Together, let's keep the conversation going and make this project a true community effort. Thank you all. Until next time. And now, drum roll, please. It's time for the main event. Let's get ready to unleash those burning questions because it's Q&A time. Today, you have the golden opportunity to get real-time answers from our fantastic project team. So don't hold back, ask away, and let's get those queries sorted. But wait, there's more. To guide us through this exciting session, allow me to introduce the maestro of moderating, Ryan Prillman from our fantastic public engagement team. Ryan, take it away and let's dive into some juicy discussions.
Thanks, Kenya, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ryan Prillman with the Public Engagement Team, and welcome to the Q&A session of this virtual design update meeting regarding the Northside High School Area Improvements Project. This is your chance to connect with us, ask questions, and share your thoughts regarding this project. We value your input and look forward to your feedback. To submit your questions, please follow the easy steps on your screen. click the Q&A icon located on the right side. It's the bubble with the question mark. Type your questions in the text box and hit send. You can also ask your question anonymously if you prefer. We encourage you to include your name and email address with your questions, especially if they require further research. While we are awaiting your questions, remember that this is just the start of our Q&A process. If you have more questions or comments after tonight's meeting, please visit us at engagehouston.org. Go to this project's page, and at the bottom you can submit your questions and/or comments. We're committed to following up with you. Also, all the materials presented in tonight's meeting will be available on the webpage for your reference. So let's begin. Okay. All right, so we have a question here. Some of the streets mentioned by CASAS to be widened require to move in the properties already established from years ago. How can you account for the loss of property in those homes? So, anybody want to take that one? I can repeat
Sure.
it. Let me repeat it. Oh, did you get that?
Yes, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay.
We have on this project, we have not gone beyond the City of Houston's right-of-way line. We are trying to maintain within that, and that's the scenario in pretty much all the cases over here. So we as of now on this project, there is only one street where we are trying to do acquisition for one-way street, which is connecting connecting streets over there. I think that's SETI. We are trying to extend SETI for the south. Other than that, we are not going beyond the city's right-of-way limit. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Prakash. All right. This is your opportunity to the attendees right now to ask any questions that you may have. You have the project team here, and they are available to answer any questions you may have about this project. All right, we have one here. How will you handle drainage during heavy rain events once this project begins? Let's see. Well, the project's still in design phase, so.
Yeah, but may I answer?
Sure.
It's okay. Typically, the construction of the project starts at the outlet and basically moves upstream. So the way the design has been done is the proposed storm sewers are basically in the same location as the existing ones. So as the contractor removes the existing and puts the much bigger new boxes in place, if there is a rain, the existing system basically continues to operate. So there is not going to be a situation where the existing storm sewer system is blocked, resulting in flooding in the neighborhood. It continues to operate and is connected to the new one at any given time. So the system still functions.
All right, thank you for that answer. All right, so let's see. We have a question here It says we received a letter from the City of Houston, which is asking us to remove a fence which we installed in the 90s. It's really not a question, it's kind of a statement. Are you asking a question in particular?
So let me take that one, Phil.
Okay.
Typically, Ryan, sorry. Typically, when we send out a letter, which means that when the survey was done, there was a fence found within the right-of-way, which was outside of the private property and into our right-of-way. So really, the people who would have received a letter would be where the fence is in conflict or intruding into our construction zone. So basically, we ask people to move the fence back to their property line, and before the construction, they give advance notice. But if it is not done from until the time the construction starts, then the contractor can handle that on the city part as well. So that's something I want to put out there.
Thank you for the answer there. Right, it's kind of another right-of-way question. So right-of-way has been a bit of a hot topic on this one. All right. All right, so I have another question here. This area does not flood as much as others. Why pick this area when there are more areas that do flood, like Houston Avenue, etc.? So let me repeat that. My question is, this area does not flood as much as others. Why pick this area when there are more areas that do flood?
So Ryan, I'm going to take this again. This is Tanu.
Okay.
So typically when the projects come up from planning, they use several data based on flooding datas, complaints, reports, and when they make an analysis, they have an area that needs improvement and they prioritize it. So there might be a couple of properties that don't flood, but the reason this project is on our radar is because there has been some historical complaints or data that indicates otherwise.
All right. Thank you very much for that answer, Tanu. Let's see. All right. So this project is in design, but here's a question about the timeline. What is the estimated timeline for the project?
Sure, Ryan. So right now we are in 90% design work, and we expect to have this project bidded on summer of 2025 and go for construction on fall of 2025. The construction duration is expected for about 3 years for the whole project. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Got another question here. R. Ramirez asks, what determines placing sidewalks in 1200 Common Park Drive? 1200 Common Park Drive. I'm not sure if that street is even a part of this project. Can anybody chime in? Do they know if Common Park Drive is a part?
You wouldn't.
There is, yeah.
Go ahead, Casca, sorry.
There is a portion of Common Park Drive that is part of the project, and the intent is to have sidewalks. And I'm not sure that off the top of my head about the specific address, but
Yeah. I think what he's asking is what's the determining factor in placing the sidewalks? Or like why was his street picked for sidewalks?
So Ryan, typically when City of Houston does projects or reconstruction projects in the right of way, we try to bring it back to the current standards. And right now we do have an ordinance where reconstruction takes place. We do put in sidewalk to enable people to walk the streets without being hit by cars. So it's a safety factor to have sidewalks on streets. And when a project comes by, that's typically one of the features that you're going to see on all of our projects.
Thank you, Janu. Right, so don't see any other questions coming in, so I think we'll wrap it here. That concludes our Q&A session for today. On behalf of Houston Public Works, I'd like to give a big thank you to Councilmember Mario Castillo. Councilmember Castillo, are you available now? Russell? Okay. All right. Big thank you to the council member and the District H staff. Big thank you to the project team, the public engagement team, and all of our constituents and stakeholders joining us tonight. Thank you for your feedback and your questions. Please, let's continue this conversation about this project on engagehouston.org. We look forward to hearing from you. So until next time, have a wonderful night. Thank you.